This week, World Wrestling Entertainment gave fans a 1-2-3 knockout punch in the form of WWE NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way Special. This could only be seen on the WWE Network for just $9.99 a month. And I gotta tell you guys, if you did not get a chance to check out this special, if you are really a pure wrestling fan, you're going to make it be your business to check out this event, because I've got to tell you, hands down, this event was a freaking home run. It was a slam dunk from top to bottom. I definitely have to give props to all the men and women that have performed on this event. You know, it seems each time that an NXT special event comes around, the roster, they just get this fire, they get this burning sensation. They just know that they gotta go out there and they gotta go all balls out. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's their involvement with Triple H, because after all, NXT, this is his baby, this is his pet project and everything. This is his special little baby. This is his own little slice of heaven in NXT. It's like a miniature WWE Raw mixed in with the Attitude Era. I mean, it's just got so much great elements to it. Of course, number one being of all, wrestling. That's what it's all about. Not some lame ass little silly stories or some boring 20-minute segments. The wrestling really speaks for itself. Now, I'm not gonna go all full-blown in-depth on every single match that had came about, because I've already said to you guys, you need to make it be your business to check this out. But to those of you that appreciate the type of reviews that we do, where we keep it honest and we also keep it insightful, and we always try to do our best to keep it interactive, as we love to hear from you guys, get you all's take on what you thought about the products that came about this week in a week in wrestling. I will definitely go over all the matches very quickly. I'll offer a few thoughts here and there. Let's jump right into it. So, we saw new tag team champions get crowned. Oh yeah, things kicked off on a what the hell note. We saw new tag champions get crowned in Kalisto, Sin Cara 2.0, as they defeated Victor and Connor of the Ascension. And you all know that they were, up until they lost those tag titles to that duo, they were the longest reigning NXT tag champions in the company's history. Slam dunk of a match, I must say. You know, as I saw them get crowned with the tag belts, I just couldn't help but say to myself in the back of my mind, I wonder what would have happened had Ricardo Rodriguez stuck around, because before it ended up becoming Kalisto and Sin Cara, it was actually Kalisto and Ricardo Rodriguez. I forget what was his name when he was paired up with Kalisto, but I just can't help but wonder what would have happened had he stuck around. Would he have become a tag champion? I mean, unfortunately, we'll never know now. We never will really know, but we have new tag champions that are crowned. Honestly, and look, I know a lot of people, a lot of hardcore Ascension fans, they're probably going to be looking at this and they're going to probably be a bit upset. They probably don't feel that Kalisto Sin Cara was the right team to take those tag belts off of them. On the contrary, I think that was the right team. It's a welcome new breath of fresh air, because when it's all said and done, I see bigger things on the horizon for Victor and Connor. I think at this point, they're probably going to go on ahead and they're probably going to come up the main WWE roster. I think it's just time, because when you look at those two guys, they really just kind of come off as if they really have no business being on the NXT roster. They seem like they need to be involved in main WWE programming. There really isn't too many guys that's on that NXT roster that can complement them height and build-wise. So I honestly have no problem with seeing them drop the tag titles. They've creatively, I think, kind of reached their peak. So I think it's time for them to move on to bigger and better things. CJ Parker, he had lost to Baron Corbin. As we all know, Baron Corbin, or at least those of us that follow our independent wrestling, this guy's been making quite a good name for himself on the independent circuit. He was signed to a WWE developmental deal earlier in the summer. He actually had appeared on NXT earlier in the summer. We've just been seeing him pop up sporadically here and there. He was a surprise opponent at this NXT special to take on CJ Parker. Match was over in 90 seconds. Just pure freaking dominance by Baron Corbin. He's got a really nice look to him, man. I'm telling you, I'm really feeling those tattoos that he has. I love the way it just connects from his arms to the center of his chest. Pretty badass right there. I hope he's not done, because I'm just looking at the way his tattoos are right now, and it just seems like there's a lot more work that can be done. Like maybe have it even connect to the back area, maybe have it running all the way down his back. I could definitely see him maybe doing something in the front as well, but I'm hoping he's not done, because those tattoos, man, I think he's on to something with the way he's doing it right now. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. We had saw Sylvester Lefort lose to Enzo Amore. Remember, this was the hair versus hair match. Now, unfortunately, it was not Sylvester Lefort that ended up losing his hair as post-match. He ended up being a sore loser, and I can't think of the name of the other person that he usually hangs out with. So you guys that follow your NXT like that, post those comments below. Look, I'm being brutally honest with you guys. I watch NXT every week, but there are some segments that I see that I honestly will fast forward because it really does not interest me like that. And unfortunately, what's been going on with Enzo Amore and Sylvester Lefort, I just have been fast forwarding. I just feel it's just not pleasing to me. You know, it doesn't mean I'm a bad guy or anything like that. It just means I just honestly could care less about that, quite honestly. It doesn't entertain me. It might entertain some of you guys out there, but it doesn't entertain me. But in either case, whoever the guy was that pairs up usually with Sylvester Lefort, he basically was trying to be a sore loser and all that. He did a sucker punch to Enzo, and then Enzo's partner, it basically was like 2-on-2 beat down outside the ring for a little bit. Sylvester's partner ended up getting the bucket of hair removal cream put on him, and the next time we see him, I mean, he looks like a miniature Gene Snitsky. You guys remember when Gene Snitsky had popped up and his eyebrows were shaved off? He didn't have his trademark goatee anymore and his hair, and he was just one big bald Looney Tune looking baby. Well, that's exactly how Sylvester Lefort's partner had looked the next time we had saw him later on in the night during a backstage segment. Japanese international sensation Kenta Kobayashi had made his official debut for the NXT promotion as he was introduced by the NXT general manager William Regal. A lot of us had heard that the one and only two-time WWE Hall of Famer Nature Boy Ric Flair, was supposed to be in attendance for this event. Rumblings were that he was going to be the one to introduce Kenta Kobayashi, but unfortunately, Ric Flair, due to prior commitments or engagements, he was not able to attend this NXT event. So William Regal setting it up. Kenta coming out, a very good warm reception, fans in attendance, great crowd by the way, definitely knew who this guy was. A little bit of heckling was going on, as for a couple of minutes he was talking in his native language to his own people. A little bit of English that he was able to say. He basically said he was happy to be in the WWE, he was happy to be part of NXT, and as a homage, if you will, to somebody that he knew for many years, he would abandon the Kenta name and would now go by Hideo Itami. Now, I tried to do some online research for you guys. I was not able to find any connection to this name. You know, who is this person that he's paying homage to? So I'm a lot in the dark right now. Maybe in the coming weeks we'll learn a little bit more. But some interesting homework for you guys that know you're Japanese and all that. You all may want to try to look up the definition of that new name that he's going by. It's got a really cool meaning to it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I already know what it is, but that'll be a challenge to you guys to go out there and see if you can do your own homework on that. Bo Dempsey defeated Mojo Rawley. Man, that was a hell of a squash match right there. You know, I love my divas, and when it comes to NXT, I definitely got to give props to the one and only Divas champion for NXT, Charlotte, retaining against Bayley. These two girls, oh my God. You know, I actually had put out a tweet, and I had said with regards to this match that Charlie, Bayley, they tore the freaking house down. Very proud of these girls. Future's looking very bright for them. Charlotte actually had favorited that and retweeted it. And Charlotte's a sweetheart. Usually whenever I mention some of her matches that I had checked out on NXT, she's usually a sweetheart and gives me a nod from time to time. And I genuinely mean what I say. I don't put out there those compliments looking for a favorite or a retweet. I put it out there because I honestly am speaking the truth, at least in my mind, at least in my heart. And Charlotte is just one of those girls. I'm telling you, man, I am waiting patiently for this young woman to come up the main WWE roster. I want to see her get it on with the likes of Alicia Fox, Paige, AJ Lee, Cameron, Naomi, Tamina Snuka whenever she comes back. There is just a roster of good girls. Natty, I want to see her get it on with all those girls on that main diva roster on main WWE programming, because I feel that she can contribute so much to that roster. She is more than ready. But the way it's looking right now, it looks like Charlotte is going to remain the NXT Divas champion at least for another couple of months. I mean, for all we know, maybe, just maybe, we might end up seeing Charlotte move up on the main roster maybe first quarter of next year. Bayley, I also got to give props to Bayley. What can you say about Bayley? Bayley just has one of those nice, bubbly type of personalities. She is just so easy on the eyes. She is just so warm and just so gooey, and you know, I just want to hug her. I literally just want to hug her. She is just such a sweetheart, and I'm a big bear type of a guy. I don't know if she would mind getting a nice hug from me, but I'm here. I'm nice, soft, and cuddly, Bayley. Shout out to you. But these girls, man, they really, really freaking deliver. When I think about all the matches of the entire night, and I'm being realistic here, this Divas match and the main event match was worth checking out this special. Hands down. Man, towards the end, all the stops that Charlotte tried to do to retain her championship. We saw her do the moonsault. We saw her at one point try to do the dirty pin. Finally, she ended up doing the natural selection. That's pretty much what had sealed the deal right there. Post-match, very interesting. Kind of seemed as though Charlotte, even after she had successfully defended her championship, she kind of had this vibe as if, okay, Bayley, you really proved your ground. You proved yourself very well. I'm going to give you your props, all right? And we see her just leave the ring. We didn't see her try to attack Bayley post-match. She just walked out and was just kind of nodding her head like, that girl gave me a damn challenge. Sasha Banks would show up, proceed to beat down Bayley. This had prompted Charlotte to come in and actually pull Sasha Banks off of Bayley, roughed her up real good, and there we see Charlotte standing in the middle between these two girls. Charlotte would take her championship, move on. Kind of seems like we now know the next chapter for Charlotte, which is going to be to ultimately feud with Sasha Banks, and it's probably going to culminate in a Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the NXT Divas Championship or Women's Championship, and maybe at that point we could possibly see Sasha Banks become champion, and then the domino effect will be Charlotte going up the main WWE roster while Sasha Banks will be defending her title, as Bayley will be chasing Sasha to eventually become the NXT Women's Champion. I think that's probably what's going to be playing out further down the road. Let me know if you guys are feeling me on that, or if you disagree, let me know why, but that's just the vibe I'm getting right there. Main event match for the NXT Championship. Sami Zayn taking on Tyler Breeze, Tyson Kidd, as Adrian Neville defends the title. My God, I love the chants that was going on during this match. Tyson's chicken, Natty's husband, Tyson's chicken. Hilarious stuff right there. Those of you that watched this NXT special, by the way, did you guys notice the heavyset guy with the beard that had a luchador mask on and a hat? What the hell was up with that guy? I mean, he was just coming from out of the weirdest places too, because I see him and then I'm like, okay, he's doing his little taunt or whatever. Then I'm looking at, for him throughout the remainder of the matches. I don't see him. I only see this guy when the matches are like over, and it's like, where was he? You know, it's like, I saw the shirt he was wearing and everything, and I'm kind of like, where the hell did this guy go? It's kind of hilarious stuff right there. Kudos to you, by the way, if you were able to spot that guy too. He was definitely hilarious. Definitely kept my interest in the matches for a majority of the night, because I was wondering what kind of gestures he was going to be doing next. I love the gesture he gave too when he saw Charlotte retain. It was hilarious. I even think Charlotte might have caught him out the corner of her eye. I think she spotted him and she just kind of had this smile going on, like, you just look so silly with that thing on. But the main event match for that NXT Championship, I gotta say, that was a slam dunk of a main event. All four of those guys, my God, you know, the fans at one point, they had chanted, "This is wrestling," and I so agree with that 100%. Those four guys, they really delivered in that contest. And bear in mind, this was the first time in NXT history that there was a fatal four-way match for the NXT Championship. So talk about history right here in the making. We actually saw Adrian Neville retain his championship in style. He did it with the red arrow. Oh my God, every time I see that guy do that finisher, I love it. But then I always say, please, no accident. Please, no accident. He is going to have to change that finisher. I'm just thinking about longevity and all that. And you know what? Yes, it's a sweet-ass finisher to look at. It's always just, wah, every single time you look at it. But I'm just thinking about 5-10 years down the road, he's going to have to switch up on that. He's going to have to go with a ground-based move. I know you guys don't want that to happen, but it's going to have to happen. I'm sorry. Adrian Neville successfully defending his championship despite the odds. My God, man. Overall, just this whole NXT Fatal 4-Way Special event, from the commentators to the type of crowd reactions that was going on at Full Sail University, to all the men and women that had performed on this card from top to bottom, they really put it all out there. And I gotta tell you, it seems like every single time the NXT talent come together for these specials, they always seem to outshine the pay-per-views that WWE does, the bread and butter of the company and all that. And if anything, it actually kind of forces the people on the main WWE roster to kind of step their game up a little more. I'm sure you guys had heard about the last NXT special that had came about, and the upper brass in WWE, although they were very pleased with how the NXT talent handled themselves, they also said, well, hell, we got this pay-per-view coming up next week. we definitely can't be outshined by what the people on NXT did. We got to go out there and we have to deliver a home run. So I kind of like this back and forth that's going on here with NXT and the main WWE roster. It should be very interesting to see what goes down with Night of Champions, how they are going to deliver, because the ante has been set very high by NXT. Triple H, this is his baby. He definitely needs to give himself a strong pat on the back for another well-produced special. As we all know, he produces the NXT shows, but I tell you, man, when it comes to these special events, it's like a completely different beast altogether. It's a completely different production vibe. At least that's what I kind of feel from it. And kudos to Triple H and everybody involved from the production standpoint. Really delivered right here. All around, I've got to give this pay-per-view probably a 9 out of 10. I would love to give it a 10 out of 10, but I honestly just could have went without the Sylvester Lefort Enzo Amore match. That's really it. Probably also the Bo Dempsey, Mojo Rawley, I probably could have also done without. If they were going to go with that, they could have at least added a few more minutes to the match, really give it the viewers' money's worth and all that. I kind of would have appreciated that, but a 9 out of 10. And that's the highest I've given to an NXT special so far to date. Let me know what you all had thought about this WWE NXT Takeover special. And if you did not see this, then before this weekend is out, you really need to make it be your business. Check this out on the WWE Network. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you are a true wrestling fan, you will go out of your way to check this out. But for those of you that did see it, post those comments down below. Let me know what you had thought about it. And as always, if it's your first time checking us out, welcome. Love to have you subscribe to us so that you never miss out on all the great content that we do for you here on a weekly basis, whether we are doing some really fun and insightful interviews, some great in-depth reviews like what you're checking out right now, or breaking news and stuff in between. We have a little bit of something for everybody, so make sure you go out of your way and subscribe to us. Make sure you give this piece a thumbs up. Share a number of ways. You can Google+, retweet, Facebook it. One of the many ways you can spread the good word about us. We have episodes that you can check out on downloads. iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio. Check out all the links in the episode description of this very episode. That's going to do it. Till I see and hear from you guys next go around, do be safe and most importantly be kind to one another. We'll see you next go round. Everybody take care.